Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. It is Michael from Hollow Thrills back with another video, and today we embark on an epic 5-part series for you guys, exploring all there is to do here at Epic Universe. We will be covering every single land: Celestial Park, Dark Universe, Super Nintendo World, Ministry of Magic, and of course, Isle of Berk. We will be checking out all 5 areas of this park, explaining all the food, backstory, and anything there is to do in between here at Epic Universe. So if you guys are excited, please make sure that you are subscribed and have the notifications turned on to get notified whenever I post a video and whenever another one of these episodes comes out. Because today for part 1, we will be checking out Celestial Park. Let's head in. No matter where your story takes you, you'll begin by stepping through the Emerald Gate and the Chronos device at the entrance of Epic Universe. Now, what is a Chronos, you may ask? Well, it's the giant machine used to harness the energy of the universe that powers all of Celestial Park, allowing you to access other worlds. Celestial Park is full of luscious, living gardens, cascading waterfalls, and meandering pathways. Celestial Park was lovingly designed to put the park back in theme park. Not only are you surrounded by mystical portals that transport you to different worlds, but also by awe-inspiring architecture inspired by astronomical and mythological elements. Think of this as a place to relax and take in the sights and sounds of the epic worlds around you. Here you can find plenty of epic entertainment, including various fountain shows throughout Celestial Park's 7 serene acres of water, where a multitude of lively fountains sway, dance, and even reach heights of up to 135 feet in the air to music and interactive lighting from sunup to sundown. You may see live bands, a violinist, and even some living statues. But every adventure has to start somewhere, and today we start at Celestial Park. Once entering through the Chronos into Celestial Park, you must decide whether you choose the path to the left towards Super Nintendo World and Dark Universe, or to the right towards Harry Potter and Isle of Berk. But in this instance, we're going to head to the left and check out some of the merchandise opportunities here over to the left of the Chronos. And then we will head back to the right to check out everything over there before we continue on to the heart of Celestial Park. Our first gift shop on the left of Celestial Park, right through the Chronos, is Otherworld's Mercantile. And this is your main store here at Epic Universe, is the very front store at the park, and will have merchandise of every single land here. And we're going to head through the main entrance under this big sign here and check out all of the interior of this store. We won't check out a lot of the merchandise, but we will see what sort of grand opening limited edition stuff they have, as this park did open officially just over a week ago at this point. They have a collectible pin set for grand opening. That includes all 4 lands as well as a main pin. Or you can get each pin individually for $18, but only the main pin set has that grand opening pin. And you can get these little acrylic signs that have grand opening on them as well. And they have a massive canvas that you can purchase here. That is limited edition. That canvas is $100. And they have backpacks, cups, Tervis tumblers, license plates, everything that you could possibly want, and of course, t-shirts. And for the Epic Universe t-shirts, for grand opening, the only main thing that they have on the side that says about grand opening is on the sleeve, and it has grand opening plus the date, and nothing on the back. And they do have a couple sizes available. They have extra small, medium, large, and of course on the other side we have extra large up to 4X. But like I said, we are just going to take a quick waltz around the store, just kind of showing you guys everything at a distance. Not really going too much in depth of the rest of the merchandise. If you want to check out a kind of full in-depth look at that, you can check out one of my first videos that I had coming to the park during previews. But I will say, all of the merchandise here at Epic Universe is extremely unique for the park. And there is a ton of stuff that has come out even since the last time that we were here that is much different than when we were here originally. Like tons of different Dark Universe stuff. I'm particularly still looking for some of the signs that they had originally that have since sold out. But this store is very, very beautiful. And I just love that they have their own dedicated section for each individual property here at the park. But yes, tons of merchandise. If there is not something that you don't find here, then you can definitely go into each individual land and see if they have something. But for the most part, this is a fairly good overview of what you can expect as far as merchandise throughout the rest of the park. But one of my favorite features of this entire store is this middle centerpiece of the globe with the constellations above. I just find that to be fascinating and is just a really cool centerpiece to kind of immerse yourself in this amazing gift store. Now there is a second section to this store that takes you to Moonship chocolates that you can get to from the inside, but we're actually gonna go outside of the store and take you through the main entrance. So a short walk away from the initial entrance that we went into, we have our amazing ship here for Moonship chocolates, which the entrance is right here. Galactically good gourmet sweets from star to table. And this is the home of the lovely, fabled Cap'n Coco, everyone's favorite new original character here at the park. They have backpacks. They should eventually have little plushes that you can purchase. As of right now, they're currently sold out, but the speculated return time for those is around late July. But they do have kids sweatshirts that you can get, which would probably kill you here in Florida, but it's an option. But they have different treats and sweets that you can get here in the store, as well as stuff that is made fresh daily, including fudge, cookies, Rice Krispie treats, all that good stuff. My personal favorite, though, of course, is going to be the Captain Coco Blueberry Caramel Apple, as that looks adorable. But everything in here smells and looks fantastic, and the details of this store are fabulous. And just everything about this store, as well as the different food offerings, is just wonderful. And I love the attention to detail that they put into every little aspect of this park, all the way down to these merchandise stores. And new since the last time that we were here, they do have grand opening exclusive designs for the Coca-Cola bottles here at Epic Universe. So they have their own little design on them, and it does say grand opening May 22nd, 2025. And you can get these, I believe, at any place around Celestial Park, as well as the entirety of Epic Universe that does sell Coca-Cola bottled products. So we started on the left side of the Kronos. Now we're going to head to the right to the other two stores here at the front of Epic Universe and take a look at some of the stuff that they have in here before continuing on to the rest of Celestial Park. Our first store that we run into is the Sensorium Emporium, which once again is just a normal little gift store here in the park. A little bit less themed than the other two, but they do have some merchandise in here for the brand new How to Train Your Dragon movie, the live action that is coming out within the next couple weeks. And of course they do have all of the grand opening merchandise in here. And this would also be where you would pick up all of your My Universal photos. And within this store is also a second gift shop, which is called North Star Wintry Wonders. And this is primarily just for like your ornaments and other Christmas themed / holiday themed goodies. So there's a ton of just different stuff like that throughout this store. But I do love the North Pole Wintry Wonders, or the North Star Wintry Wonders store, just because of the theming of it. It reminds me of like Santa Claus's like gift shop or toy store, or his workshop. I mean, it's just everything about it just screams the holidays, and I absolutely love that. And of course, directly next door, no park is complete without, yes, a Starbucks. I'm not sure exactly what specialty things are on in here, but we can definitely take a look inside. But I will say there's a standalone location for Starbucks further into the park, so if you want to skip the line for this one, you can definitely check out that one that we'll take a look at a little bit later in the video. And here is the inside of the store here. They don't have anything particular as far as specialty drinks just for the park, but I will say they do have one specialty mug that we will check out in a second here. So the Starbucks Discovery Series, they do have one specifically for Epic Universe. It's a really cool mug. I actually already own this one. I bought it last time we were here, but it is super cool, and you can only get it here at the Epic Universe Starbucks location. And they also do have a miniature version of it that is like a, I guess a Christmas ornament, if you want, I suppose. But it is definitely some really cool merchandise here, specifically in this Starbucks.
Next up is the nature walk here in Celestial Park. Now, this is a little short walking path here, just to pass the front entrance and to pass the Kronos, where you just get to walk amongst nature, walk by the water elements, and just to get a good feel of the ideology of Celestial Park, where they truly wanted to put the park back in theme park. And it's just these little areas of this park that I absolutely adore, and it's the little details that really make this park much better than others in the area.
Continuing on from the nature walk, we were just gonna keep it on through the right-hand side of the park, as we get to see some of the amazing fountains here in Celestial Park. And just an overall great vibe here. Now, there is a separate setup over here. Now, I'm not sure if this is a food offering area that's going to be available later, but as of right now, there is nothing in that section of the park. So we're just going to continue through, and once we find some of the little food booths throughout the park, I will point them out to you. The first food booth that you run into on the right-hand side is Celestial Snacks. Bavarian pretzels, churros, cold hot chocolate churros, and just your normal beverages, as well as Coke Freestyles are available here. And you can take a look. It does look like they have your normal cinnamon sugar salted, as well as your churros. And that is directly across the portal for How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk. And I'll put a link up in the upper right-hand corner if you want to check out our video regarding How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk. It'll be a similar video to this, where we will explore all of that area. Continuing on the outside of Celestial Park, we are going to be taking a look at the Star Su Bao, which is another one of our food options here in the park. They have bao buns and soup dumplings here that you can purchase. Everything does sound delicious, and the prices aren't too bad on this stuff, and with your annual pass discount, it is actually extremely affordable and delicious. We might have to check this out a little bit later and get ourselves a snack. Now, there are two major attractions here in Celestial Park, and one of which is our first one here that we will run into, which is, of course, going to be Stardust Racers. a dueling mock coaster that is multi-launch and inverted. It is one of my favorite rides here in this park and one of my favorite coasters that I have been on to date. It is amazing with punchy forces on the launches, some great top speeds, and some amazing inversions. Definitely a must-do here in Celestial Park and just in general here at Epic Universe. And they have been absolutely killing it with the operations for this coaster. I believe normally on most days they are running 2 trains on each side, which definitely helps the throughput of this coaster. And this attraction does exit right here at the entrance of the attraction as well. And if you are a person who has a little bit of a sensitive stomach, this coaster is a bit intense at times. So if you do need to, have a little bit of a break after this coaster, if you follow this path back here, there actually is a bathroom right over here. And this is one of my personal favorite bathrooms here in the park, as it tends to be a little less crowded as other areas in the park because it is kind of hidden away here in the back corner over by Stardust Racers. And into the entrance for Stardust Racers, this attraction does have a normal standby as well as express, and occasionally it will have a single rider. Unfortunately today, single rider is closed as of right now, but it is an option here at the park when it is a little bit busier. Also available here at Stardust Racers, we do have the My Universal Photos. So there are photos here that you can get with your photo pass, and you can also pick the photos up over here at this little photo kiosk area over here. Moving on from Stardust Racers, we're going to take a look at one of the sit-down quick service food offerings here at Celestial Park, which is the Meteor Astro Pub, which has a ton of, typical pub-like fare, including a burger, sausage and peppers, a bunch of different cocktails, including the Meteor Strike, which is a really awesome drink that they throw a flaming cube of sugar into your drink. It is an awesome experience here and definitely one that you don't want to miss. But we'll take a quick look at the inside of this amazing quick service offering in Celestial Park, just to see what it's all about and see if it is something that you would be interested in checking out here during your visit. And here we are at the inside of the Meteor Astro Pub. It is a really nice seating area here where they do have the Coke Freestyle machines where you can get the Celestial Park specific drink being the Celestial Spritz. And of course though, this is a quick service restaurant that is just like all the others here at Universal, where it is a sit down and order from the mobile app. So you scan your QR codes and sit down at the table, and basically once you order, it will be delivered personally to your table by one of the attendants here at this restaurant. But yes, tons of open seating here, as well as an awesome little conservatory area that we can check out in a bit. And they also do have a bar on the inside of here. Of course, it's an Astro Pub, so there's gotta be a bar with bar seating. So you could just go up and order from the bar and have drinks and food delivered here to the bar. And they are pouring directly out of bottles, so there are no pre-mixed stuff here. It is all fresh and made to order. And here is a quick look at that interior conservatory that I was talking about, where you can come in here, and it is once again another seating area, but it does have a beautiful view of the sky. And I can assume that it would be really awesome to be in here at night with all of these lights and taking an awesome look at the nighttime sky here in the Meteor Astro Pub. And as you can see through the windows, they do have ample outdoor seating as well. So if this does get a bit too crowded in here, you could take the option to go outside with your meal as well. And for those wondering, the Meteor Astro Pub does in fact have restrooms inside, so that's another restroom option here in Celestial Park. I will say though, that is one thing that you will notice with some of these restaurant locations and quick service locations here in the park, is that they do not technically have a lot of interior bathrooms. I think out of the ones that I've had recently with our couple visits here prior, that not a lot of these interior quick service locations have restrooms. which is a bit interesting of an option, to say the least. But we're gonna continue our trek around Celestial Park here and continue to look at some of the food offerings as well as our next portal coming up. And our next portal that we run into is the portal for Harry Potter, with that amazing Elder Wand there marking the entrance to this portal with the time turner right above the entrance to the portal itself as you take a look into being transferred directly into Paris, France, and taking a look at the Ministry of Magic. Now, if you want to take a look at our breakdown of this land, you can take a look in the upper right-hand corner as I will put a link to that video. And just outside of that portal, they do have a little merch booth specifically for Harry Potter stuff that you can check out if you want to try to avoid the crowds actually in the portal, but still get your Harry Potter fix. Our next booth here is our Coca-Cola booth. And this booth has, of course, our celestial being holding a Coca-Cola, as well as some awesome food and drink offerings. You can get your exclusive epic Coca-Cola bottle here, as well as Bavarian pretzels, celestial churros, and regular churros. And of course, they do have the Epic Universe Grand Opening freestyle cups here and a freestyle option off to the side of this building. And directly across from that Coca-Cola booth and next to our Harry Potter portal is the entrance to the Family Care Center as well as First Aid, so you can head back here if you need any sort of assistance in that area. And once again, this is directly next to the Grand Helios Hotel and that Coca-Cola booth. As we continue our trek around Celestial Park, I just wanted to stop in awe of this amazing fountain that we have here in the back half of Celestial Park, just outside of the Helios Grand Hotel. This fountain does have daytime shows, I believe, every hour or so, as well as a fantastic nighttime show that we will be taking a look at later today. But this fountain is beautiful, and you will see that sometimes that central column will shoot up extremely high. Like, they can get that thing extremely high. But let's continue on throughout the park as we head towards our last couple portals and one of our other quick service and sit-down food offerings. And directly to the left of the Grand Helios Hotel, we have our first sit-down food option here in Celestial Park, that being the Blue Dragon Pan-Asian restaurant. And we can take a quick look at this food menu as there are a ton of amazing offerings here. It's kind of hard to see with the glare, but I can kind of put up pictures of the menu as we go. But yes, this is definitely one of the options that I'm looking forward to the most once we finally get a reservation for it. I believe we will be taking a look at this next week, so if I put a little link in the upper right-hand corner if you want to check out the interior of this restaurant. And to the left of the entrance to the Blue Dragon, we do have one more restroom that is all the way back there. And once again, another kind of nestled back restroom that may have a little bit of a quieter spot for you to do your business. The next portal that we run into is Dark Universe. And this is one of my personal favorite lands here in the park. And once again, I will put a link in the upper right-hand corner if you want to check out our overview of this land. But it is definitely one that you want to check out here at Epic Universe. It may not be the biggest land in the park, but it is definitely one of the most immersive and fun. The next quick service spot that you run into here in Celestial Park is, of course, going to be the Oak and Star Tavern, Barbecue and Brew House. This is slowly becoming one of my favorite areas in the park to get a little bite. Their breakfast is fantastic. We're gonna try their lunch today because it does look amazing, but everything at this location sounds and looks amazing. And I can put a link to the last time that we were here so you can take a look at some of the food offerings that we did try. And here is the interior of the Oak and Star Tavern. Like I said, one of the most peaceful themed sections in the park as far as just being a really nice quick service option. Similar here, this is table service where you sit at your table, you scan the QR code, and you have your food delivered directly to your table through the mobile app. But let's check out some of the other offerings that they have here. So you do have your beer offerings over here to the left that you can take a look at, as well as through these doors is where we have our Coke Freestyle, and of course more seating. And they do have outdoor seating as well. And one of my personal favorite things here at this restaurant is the fact that they have 4 different types of barbecue sauce on the table at all time. Harissa, sweet, tropical, and of course the huli huli. My personal favorite though is that tropical gold followed by the sweet. Those are both super good, but each of them is good in their own right on a specific different thing, so you definitely want to try all 4 of them when you're here at the park. And here is the other side of the Oak & Star Tavern, where they do have live music being played currently, as well as, once again, a full service bar, which they will be pouring fresh cocktails for you if you choose to have that. And you may have seen it as we were going by, but there is our restroom in this quick service location as well. And here is our drink list specifically for the Oak & Star Tavern for their cocktails. And I believe the Plastered Owl is, no, the Willywood Highball is the one I believe that comes in a specialty cup here, specifically for the Oak & Star Tavern. Or no, it is that Hoo Hoo Highball, I believe. And then they do have mocktails as well, and I believe they also do have beer and wine on the other side as well that we can check out. So yes, here are our 2 specialty cups that you can get here at the Plastered Owl, which is the name of this bar inside here. And this one comes with the Hoo Hoo Highball, and this one comes with the Plastered Owl. And both are cups that you can take home with you. And they gave me this really awesome bar coaster for the Plastered Owl, and it has the Celestial Park logo on the back. Our next stop here on our trip around the galaxy takes us to Frosty Moon. Here are our options here at Frosty Moon. We have cups and cones, and there's our flavors: vanilla, strawberry, chocolate, cookie butter, cheesecake, and vegan vanilla. And then we have all of these different types of toppings, and they also do have cookies available here, both birthday cake and chocolate chip. And we can take a look at those cookies over here, as the left one is our chocolate chip with those giant chocolate pieces on it, and our birthday cake has the celestial marshmallow pieces on it, which is awesome. And they are all soft serve flavors, so they come out of these soft serve machines back here. And this is just another location where you can get your freestyle cups reactivated. Directly next to Frosty Moon is the Celestiki Bar, where they have frozen beverages and hand-poured cocktails. So let's go ahead and take a look at their menu and see what they have to offer. At the Celestiki Bar, we have, like I said, frozen cocktails, the Mudslide Pina Colada and Margarita, and they also have bottled beer. And on the other side, we also have their classic cocktails, the Waturi Punch, Caribbean Spice Colada, as well as some mocktail offerings and wine. And I have been told that the Mudslide is very good, and that the Pina Colada with that OFTD rum is super, super high in alcohol content. So if you want to get bit as quick as you can, that Pina Colada is definitely where you want to start. And once again, they do have another live band section here in the park, directly across from the Frosty Moon and the Celestiki Bar. And right next to those is that Starbucks location I was talking about earlier, a standalone Starbucks location here in the middle of Celestial Park. Earlier I said that there were 2 main attractions here in Celestial Park, and here is that second attraction. This is Constellation Carousel. It's a different take on your normal carousel here in the park, and it is super fun and definitely a must ride here in the park at night, as it does come alive at night. And similar to Stardust Racers, this attraction does have a normal standby entrance as well as express, but this does not have a single rider entrance. And yet another quick service location that we have run into here in Celestial Park. This time we are looking at Pizza Moon, and this is our pizza place here in Celestial Park. We did try this last time we were here, and this is personally one of my favorite places in here for a great deal. 12-inch pizzas serve 2, and they are pretty decently priced. I think it's $20, so it's $10 a person if you decide to split one. And then they also do have baked pasta, salads, and dessert. My personal favorite that we had here was that pizza lunare, which has that purple celestial ube crust, which is very interesting, but I have heard great things about the Space Cowboy, and that might be something to try a little bit later. Taking a quick step inside the restaurant, we see the amazing theater setting here. It just looks like a paper theater, like you've just taken a step inside of like a puppet theater or just a pop-up book of just amazingness. It is super cool. But we can take a closer look at some of the seating areas here. And similar to the other quick service and food offering places that we've checked out so far, all of these are once again table service, so you'll sit down, scan your QR codes, and they will deliver your items directly to your table using order through a mobile app. And here is that giant rocket ship that you saw earlier, and to the left of that we have our Coke Freestyle machines, as well as once again another bar here in the park. And this bar just does beer, and then you can also get your Freestyle cups reactivated here. Now, just like I was saying though, this location does not have a restroom inside, but just outside of there is a restroom to the left, and directly to the left of that is our exterior Nintendo store that is just outside of the portal for Super Nintendo World, which we will take a look at in a second. But let's take a look at the interior of this store. Immediately as you take a step inside, you are greeted by a ton of characters like Toad and Toadette and Yoshi, and then if you look up, you see Link, Diddy Kong and Donkey Kong, Mario, Princess Peach, Daisy and Luigi, Bowser, and Ganondorf, and Princess Zelda. And then straight up you can see some constellations of a mushroom, a flower, and of course Mario himself. And if you continue throughout the store, you can also see those constellations throughout this store as well. Toad, Goomba, Yoshi. But yes, there's just a ton of merchandise in here. And one of the things that they have all throughout the store are these awesome carpets. Now, Universal, if you sell these, I will buy one because they are awesome. And they have tons of different ones in this store for us to check out. And like I said, there's more of those constellations above us for a whole bunch of different characters. And I love the design of this store. And like I said, similar merchandise from what we had at the very front, but I will say there are some Zelda things in here that weren't in that front store. But tons of different things in here, and this is also a spot where you can get your power-up bands for Super Nintendo World. And our last portal that we run into as we continue our trek outside of Celestial Park is, of course, Super Nintendo World. And once again, similar to the other portals, I will put a link in the upper right-hand corner of our breakdown of this entire section of the park. We have a few more food offerings here in the park as we have our Celestial Popcorn booth here, which just has our popcorn, souvenir refills, epic souvenir popcorn buckets, and of course your bottled and canned beverages and beers. And we continue around, we will take a look at Atlantic. And here we are, Atlantic, our last sit-down table service restaurant here in the park, where you actually, have your own waiter. They come up and wait your table and everything. It is a normal seated food area, and they have tons of fresh seafood here. We did try this our first visit here, so if you want to check out our reviews and some of the food items here, you can take a look at that. I'll put a link in the upper right-hand corner. But let's go inside and take a look at this amazing food offerings here at Epic Universe in Celestial Park. So once you get inside of the restaurant here, you have a full service bar that you can order and sit down here. You don't actually have to have a table reservation to get drinks here at this area. You just can come in, sit down, and just kind of soak up some AC and get a nice drink. But this is the main attraction. this amazing conservatory area looking over the fountains of Celestial Park. And the fish are officially moving. The last time we were here, none of these fish were moving around, but all of these fish do move and interact with the nighttime lights and projections throughout the entire park. So it's super, super cool. But you can take a look at the seating area down here. Now, I will say this restaurant is a bit on the pricier side, but just the ambiance of it is 100% worth it in my opinion. And from what I've heard, they have one of the best lobster rolls here in all of Orlando. So here is the drink menu for the bar here in the Atlantic, and I did get confirmation from a team member you cannot order food here at the bar, but you can get the drinks. And there are some awesome drink offerings here, including different wines and draft beers, as well as bottled and canned beer. But yeah, all this stuff is poured fresh by hand. There is nothing pre-made here, so you'll definitely get a fresh drink. But they also have the food menu on the other side. Like I said, you cannot order food at the bar, but let's just take a closer look at some of the food offerings here. And last time we were here, I did try that sweet corn chowder. It was delicious. And we had there's that lobster roll I was telling you about. But I had that grouper sandwich, and then we also tried the salmon. Both were delicious. And on the outside of Celestial Park, there is a little path here that takes you up close to all those fountains, as well as the exterior of the Atlantic restaurant. And once again, I just love these little paths that get you close to the nature that they have here in the park, and definitely makes you feel like you are just in a park. Not like a theme park, just like a normal park. And just kind of, it feels different. And I love that part of this theme park, is that it just does not feel like your traditional amusement park or theme park. It just feels different. I don't know. But we have one more food booth to check out and one more attraction here in Celestial Park to check out before we wrap up our first video here, our first overview of Epic Universe. And here we are, our last food offering place, Comet Dogs. We have the Comet Dog, obviously, the Bulgogi Dog, the El Pastor Dog, the Philly Cheesesteak Dog, and then of course, the dreaded Smoky Carrot Dog. Everyone's most interesting choice here at the park. I have heard very mixed reviews regarding it, but it is obviously an option for people who are vegan, so it is good that they have that offering here. Personally, I'm willing to try any of these other than that one because they all sound delicious, but like I said, it is our last food offering here within the park that we have yet to check out. On our first trip around Celestial Park, we did miss this, but we have the Zenith Bar, which is directly behind the Meteor Astro Pub. And this is yet another full service bar here where you can get different hand poured and craft cocktails. Here is the menu for this bar. We have the Parallax Punch, Meridian Bramble, Natural Satellite. All of these sound fabulous. Bar Zenith here in Celestial Park, our last bar that we had to check out here before we head to our last attraction. And here it is, our last attraction, Astronomica. It is a kiddie water splash pad, and on the amazing, very hot summers here in Florida, this will be a must for some of those kids to burn off some energy, but also to cool off on a hot day here in Florida. And one of my favorite parts about this is that you have arrows pointing to some of your favorite attractions. So we have Stardust Racers pointed this way because it is literally directly behind us. And then we go around this side and we have Isle of Berk, which points directly to the portal for Isle of Berk. And then this one takes us to the Kronos, which is directly across from us. And we have arrows for both Constellation Carousel as well as Super Nintendo World, as both those are this way. And just everything Everything about this park and this area is just fabulous. Thus wraps up our first part here of our Discovering Epic Universe series here at Epic Universe, as we have checked out everything there is to see and do here in Celestial Park. Now, in case you did not click off to one of the other videos, we will be recording 4 other videos today discovering the other 4 portals here in Epic Universe. So if you want to click any of those links, I'll put them down in the description below so you can check out any of the other 4 portals here in the park. But if you guys did enjoy our video here today and our Discovering Epic Universe series, be sure to drop a like and also comment down below, out of all of the portals here in Epic Universe, which is your favorite? I would love to know down in the comments. But as always, I'm Michael from Hollow Thrills, giving you the all clear, and all clear means you're out of here. See you guys next time.